Hi, my name is Shruti. The topic I chose for my final project is predicting future player trajectories in NFL pass plays using deep learning models, including CNNs, LSTMs, and transformers. The NFL generates millions of tracking points per game using the next gen stats. Traditional football analytics focuses heavily on the outcomes, yard gains, completions, expected points added. However, many critical decisions in football are made before the outcome is known, especially immediately after the ball is thrown. The problem I am solving is given players tracking data before the pass is released, can we predict where players will move while the ball is in the air? Instead of classifying routes, I focus on trajectory prediction, which allows us to analyze timing, separation, and defensive reaction, all of which happen dynamically and continuously. For the purpose of this project, I am using the NFL Big Data Ball 2026 prediction dataset, which contains high frequency player tracking data recorded at 10 frames per second. Each player's movement is represented by features such as X and Y position, speed, acceleration, direction, and orientation, ball landing position, yard line context. Now that I've explained the dataset at a high level, I'll walk you through my notebook step by step to show how the data is processed, how sequences are constructed, and how each model is trained and evaluated. So, just bringing up the notebook here. So, firstly, I import all the training data sets that's needed, which is provided by the NFL Big Data Ball. The input file contains the player movement before the ball is thrown, and the output file contains the movement after the ball is in the air. I concatenate multiple weekly files to increase the number of training example. At this stage, the data is still frame level and not yet organized into sequences. So here I'm just like checking all the data sets that I've imported. Now, importantly, I restrict the data sets here to players where player to predict is true and the player role is set to be targeted receiver. This improves the signal quality, but it also reduces the total dataset size, which later impacts the transformer performance. Now, to do the exploratory data analysis, I did a player count of all the targeted receivers. In order to do a player specific analysis, I use AJ Brown, who is a Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver. And after filtering the data, I plotted his movement profile here, as you can see. And you can see there is like route diversity in his movement profile, as well as like you can see the deep routes are thrown from 40 to 100 yard line, because like you can see a lot of like overlapping, etc. So that shows like he runs a lot of deep routes. So I've used him for doing the player specific analysis. After this, I've also done the acceleration and speed distribution for the targeted and non-targeted players. As you can see, the targeted and the non-targeted players, they display similar speed and acceleration pattern. So it's just safe to conclude that a pass completion or incompletion depends on other factors, not just these two, like just not on speed and acceleration. Now, importantly, this section covers how the sequence is created. Firstly, I select all the features. The features that I have selected for training my model are the X and Y coordinates, speed, acceleration, orientation, direction, absolute yard line number, where the ball is going to land X, and like the predicted landing spot of the ball X and Y. So I'm using like 9 input features. Now, after using 9 input features, um, I'm going to like take in a total of 10 input frames the first 10 frames before the throw, and the last 10 frames after the ball is thrown. And now I'm grouping the data by the game ID, play ID, and the NFL ID, and sorting it by the frame IDs. I'm like making it in a timely order. And the things that I told before, like taking the first 10 frames and the last 10 frames, I'm doing it here. After that, I'm generating the sequence. So in the end, like if you can see, the X and Y are in the shape of number of sequences, number of frames, and number of features. That is the X, like the input data that we are giving. And the output data is in the form of number of sequences, frames, and the X and Y coordinate. Now, moving on, I split the data into 80% training and 20% validation sets for all the 18 weeks data. Now, moving on, firstly, I build the CNN model. This is the Con 1D CNN model. So the first Con 1D layers, it applies the filters across the time, allowing the model to detect short-term motion. And causal padding is added. It ensures the model only uses past information, so then there is no future information leakage here. Then the max pooling layer keeps the strongest movement signals, and then we go to the deeper layers of the Con 1D, which learns the higher level route patterns. And then I'm using a global max pooling 1D, which summarizes the most important features. And to combine all these motion features, learn motion features, and predicting the trajectory, there is a dense layer that's been being used. So this is a simple model that I've created. And then I've defined, like, to evaluate the model, I'm using MSE, mean square error, and for the evaluation I'm using like the RMSE metric. I've also added checkpoints and early callbacks. I fitted the model for like 50 epochs here, and the best epoch was like 46, like it restored the weights at 46. And then I have plotted like the training and the validation loss. As you can see, like the validation loss, like is pretty low, even like for the starting epoch, that it shows the CNN model learns pretty quickly. It learns all the features very quickly for the short-term short-term features pretty quickly here, and like without memorizing. And the training and validation, it follows each other, like it is following each other very closely, so it remains very close. Then I have taken like randomly chosen one play to predict the actual and the predicted trajectory, and you can see they both follow each other very closely in the CNN model. I even developed an animation plot, and you can see they both follow very closely, like the actual and the predicted, for that specific play that I have taken. Then in order to analyze the same, like the player specific profile that I was talking about for AJ Brown, you can see the RMSE for the model for AJ Brown is 1.11, compared to the overall RMSE for the model is 1.25. It is slightly lower. The reason might be like CNN model learns quickly for like small amount of data. So yeah, I did the same, plotted like one trajectory for AJ Brown. It's pretty close to each other, just that like I've zoomed in on the trajectory more, so you can see there is a little bit of a trajectory difference there, but it remains close to each other, so the landing spot might be similar. Yeah, they created the animation plot for the same. Now moving on to the second model, the LSTM encoder decoder model. So here the encoder reads the full input sequence and summarizes into one context vector, Now the repeat vector repeats the context vector into t out times. Here it would be 10 times, because the t out, like the total number of frames for the target, is about 10 that we have taken here. Now after that is done, now the repeat vector is then passed on to the decoder, which predicts the future trajectory frame by frame. Now this is projected onto a dense layer to give us the x and y trajectory of the output. So in short, this is the simple LSTM model that I've taken, the encoder decoder model that I've created. And then again I added the similar checkpoints and stopping, and the model ran until, like, the best epoch was found for 15. And here similarly there wasn't a rapid drop in the validation loss like you saw in CNN, but like the validation curve and the training curve follow very closely to each other, even though like the RMSE for this model is slightly higher. And I picked up a random play here, like the same play that I had taken, like index that I had chosen before, and you can see the actual and the predicted trajectory follow very closely to each other, and generate a similar animation plot here, and you can see it runs pretty closely to each other. And for the doing a player specific profile, you can see that, like, the model accuracy for AJ Brown is at 1.42, while the RMSE, overall RMSE for the model, is at 1.39. This can be accounted for his explosive routes that he takes in comparison to the overall data, but it remains pretty close to each other still. Again, I plotted the same, like just randomly picked up one trajectory, zoomed in, plotted the same, and you can see like it follows like similar curvature with like that 1 yard, approximately 1 yard of, like, error that you see here. Now coming to our third model, the transformer encoder decoder model. Unlike LSTM transformers, like, they are using the self attention. Positional embeddings are added to preserve the temporal like order, because the transformer doesn't know in which sequence the data is in. While like this model is super powerful, but I think, like, because I had restricted my model to only the wide receivers, and the trajectory sequences were pretty limited that was fed to the model. Because of the complexity of this model, I didn't get a good RMSE for the model, and I did, like, the training and the validation loss. The model converged at at like the epoch 47 with like 2.9 RMSE of 2.9, validation RMSE. And then, like, you can see the training and the validation curve follows very closely to each other. The only thing is that it has like a higher RMSE compared to the other two model. Now when I plotted the trajectory, now you can see a like visible difference in the trajectory here, even though like this whole plot I had plotted it for 0 to 120 yards. And the like, just to see the animation, you can visibly see like the difference in the transformer model as compared to like the CNN, etc. Now for the RMSE plot, again, like, I got a slightly lower RMSE for AJ Brown as compared to like the overall RMSE for the model, which was at 2.54. And I had plotted the trajectory for one play for him. You can see that. And so yeah, and then I evaluated the validation RMSE for all three models, and this is the final result that I obtained, with CNN at 1.23, which is clearly the winner. The second runner-up is at LSTM, which is at 1.34, and the transformer at 2.49.